Today we are joined by Pookie Pookster, and honestly, I actually really like the name, guys. As whatever you say about it, I like the name. So Pookie Pookster, he here is on server 164, so relatively a new player here, and quite honestly, so far doing very well. Already got 1.29 million kills, and obviously, as you can tell, just overall has a very nice looking account. So starting off, he does want to check out two sort of different styles here. He wants to look into the fighter side of things, the air side, and he also wants to look into the sort of base to base artillery side. So these are two things we're going to be going over. So starting with the base to base artillery, he is an artillery main, so he does have a tanking unit, which is the super heavy. He then has two howitzers, one being Liberty, one being Marty, and then he also has a Marty rocket launcher. So far so good, looking nice. Obviously, maybe we're going to go through, have a little bit of tweaks, see what else we can do with this account, and you know how far we can progress it. Now the main thing here as well is using thunder, so it got me thinking, does he have thunder? Close to being done, and he's currently sort of almost halfway there. In the next opening, he'll have the first skill done, and then after that he can then move on to the critical damage one. And pretty much, I mean, obviously being on a new account, this obviously is already going to be usable, but once he has, you know, the first skill, the third skill, and the full skill, he's basically at almost max capacity. All he'll gain is an extra 20% of damage intensity from here, and then he'll grant himself a little bit of shield and resistance. But damage wise, you know, he's only 20% away from being maxed out. So already very good start over here. I'm actually loving that. Obviously, the only thing he's going to really need to pair that with eventually is he's going to want to try and get this one single skill here for the crit strike rate. If he can get this one skill to be trained with him, golden at that point. That is going to be the ground we're going to be working on. The Air Force as well, obviously he has one bomber, he has one fighter. He's only playing at that sort of 8-star level, which is honestly really nice. You know, being at that lower league at the start of your gameplay, I feel like it's really fun, because as long as you're hitting, you know, a couple of units, you can then start working towards those next ones. So let's take a look at tech. Now, at the initial thought, I'm sitting here thinking, well, he's an artillery main, so I'm assuming artillery tech is done. So we'll go through. Artillery tech is done here on the advanced, and he's obviously making his way back. Very nice. Now, tank tech hasn't been started, which I wouldn't expect it to be. Same with infantry, and he's actually started to work on planes, which is nice because he does want to focus on that plane. And planes tech is really good, guys. As most of you know, it offers 20% total damage resist and damage intensity, which is amazing. So artillery's done, and then if we go over to modern, I'm assuming that the modern artillery is being worked on. Yeah, he started on modern artillery, so obviously it's going to take some time. You know, he is on a brand new account. It's going to take time. He's only level 20 on the collector, meaning he is pretty much a free-to-play account. I assume he might spend the odd bit here or there, but with that being said, he's mostly free-to-play or extremely low spender. So, you know, honestly doing really well here. Now we're going to look at too is going to be trying to work on his artillery setup and his air setup. So let's jump in and we'll have a chat with him, and we're going to see how we can help him, and we'll be back with you with the results. So after going through Pookie's account with him, now honestly, I genuinely haven't needed to change much, and I think this is the first time out of all of the coaching I've done, this is probably the least amount I've even needed to change. So we did need to change around a couple of the skills. Yes, obviously the skill training is always going to be an issue, especially for someone who's brand new to the game. You know, they're on a very recent server. Most skills are level 1. You know, you got a couple here and there that are going to be leveled up. But one thing that's really helped this account as well, he does like having the 2 skills at the sort of 6 seconds, so that instead of having like a 4 total skills, he only needs 2 over here. So really, he's actually saving up a lot of skill needed for that, just from that alone. But overall, I'm really impressed with this account, if I'm honest with you. He's done really well. The decisions on what to choose when it comes to the skill training, he's actually also done tremendously. There was only a couple of little tweaks that I needed to change for him. He's doing really well when it comes to officer statues. As you can tell, has been focusing on, you know, the most sort of newest and sort of best options available for what he wants to do. Now, the only thing that he is doing is just saving statues now. He's going to be awakening Blade Wing on this account, and quite honestly, I think that it's a definite good option. You know, he's got pretty much the best free-to-play offensive fighter, and he has a very nice bomber here when it comes to especially bombing units. He's bombing bases. Technically, Storm Striker would have been better, but he's mostly focusing units, especially in the Navy and that. So again, this is also going to be really good. It's going to stop them from running away and stuff like that. So I'm really genuinely impressed with the account so far. Now, in the start, I didn't actually mention Navy, but he hasn't really got any Navy at the moment. It's not on his radar. I personally think that Navy is very important, but at the same time, you know, especially on newer levels, the thing I need to explain to you guys as well is I started playing this game when Navy didn't exist. I started playing when Air Force just came out. So even people who have been playing since the start, them not having to worry about Air Force and solely focusing on the ground would be a much different experience from what I started with. And the same way with anyone who's starting now, they're going to have a very different experience with having the fact that Navy's been in since the start of when they started playing. So now they need to work against all 3 sections, whereas when I started, I only had to work against 2, and the OGs only had to work against 1. So there's so many different things that with having Navy now, I can understand the struggle if you are a newer player having to work towards all 3. But I do think it is crucial because most maps are geared between all 3 sections. Now, if you are a brand new account, being a Navy and Air main is probably going to be exceptionally strong. But if you are a ground and an air, then that's not really going to be too much of an issue. If you're thinking of starting a new account, or you're thinking of being a, you know, your friends thinking of playing and you getting them into the game, telling them to go down that Navy and Air route is probably going to be the best thing you can do for them, if I'm honest with you. It's going to help them a lot in the long run. Now, obviously, eventually they'll be able to do their ground. But with regards to this account, guys, genuinely, I'm really impressed with it. We can actually call that in because he's been working on upgrading here. So that's now getting him some more rewards over here. So yeah, I mean, not too much has changed. When it comes to skill training, we've gone for obviously just as much damage resist. They will eventually get leveled up. He's going to be working on them. Switching around some of the officer gear is the only other thing we had to really change as well. But I'm really impressed. You know, I explained to him that once he gets Thunder complete to awaken up the skill from Vindicta. But other than that, there wasn't too much to change on this account. I'm really impressed with how he's doing. He asked a lot of questions regarding skill training on, you know, what's better with damage resist, damage intensity, officer skill boost, firepower, and all these things. Obviously, I've explained to him the difference between the 2. I'm excited that, you know, in a year's time, he'll have Thunder done. He'll, you know, be working on someone else. There'll be new officers. I'm really excited to see just how strong this base will become even in just 1 year's time. It's going to be very strong account. I'm a little bit jealous. Again, I still don't have Thunder, guys. I haven't even started on Thunder. I'm just over halfway on Vindicta. Anyone who has Thunder, guys, I'm really jealous of. So yeah, I appreciate obviously everyone tuning in. Guys, if this is something you would enjoy, having your account gone over, any sort of questions you have and anything about it, please feel free to check out my Discord. I do have the new one-on-one coaching available. So if anyone is interested in that, feel free to check it all out on Discord. The links will be down in the description. And if you know that, you know, you definitely want this, there is a form that you can also click on the link in the description to fill that form out, and I'll be able to get back to you about the coaching. I appreciate each and every single one of you for tuning in. I hope everyone has an absolutely beautiful and amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everyone.